Hello and welcome to our literacy lesson today. Can you remember what story we're doing in literacy at the moment? What's it called? Little Red Riding Hood, that's right. That's the title of our story, Little Red Riding Hood. So, in all fairy tales, we've got a beginning, a middle and an end of the story. In the beginning of the story, near the start, we meet the characters, we find out where the story takes place. Where does this story take place? In the forest, that's right. And we meet all the characters right in the beginning. So we know who's going to be in our story and where our story takes place, the setting. When we get to the middle of the story, in a fairy tale, there is always a problem. Oh dear me, there is always a problem in a fairy tale. What do you think the problem is in this story? What goes wrong? The wolf eats Granny and Red Riding Hood. That definitely is something that's gone wrong, isn't it? You're right. So that is the problem. And then there is the end of the story where there is a solution. Everything gets fixed. That's what happens in fairy tales. At the end, everything is okay. It's all better and everybody lives happily ever after. Okay. So we know that in our story, Little Red Riding Hood, at the beginning, we meet Red Riding Hood. We know that she lives in the forest. We meet Red Riding Hood's mum. And then, just before the middle of the story, we meet the big bad wolf. In the middle of the story, the problem is that the wolf eats Granny and Red Riding Hood. Why does the wolf eat Granny and Red Riding Hood? Why? What did we say here? That the wolf was hungry. Amazing. So the problem in the story, Little Red Riding Hood, is that the wolf is hungry. Oh dear. Do you think it was the right thing to do for the wolf to eat Granny and Red Riding Hood because he was hungry? No? Why not? Because wolves shouldn't eat people, should they? How silly. What else do you think he could have done instead of eating Granny and Red Riding Hood? Because that didn't end very well for him, did it? He ended up with a big cut down his tummy. What else could he have done? What do you do when you're hungry? Do you think that the wolf has his mummy or daddy to ask for food? No. So he needs to find food himself, doesn't he? And he did find Red Riding Hood and Granny, but it wasn't the right thing to do. What do you think wolves should eat? What would have been better for him to eat? It would have been better for him to have a nice meal instead of eating Granny and Red Riding Hood. What is your favourite thing to eat? What is your favourite meal? Do you think that the wolf would like to eat that? Sounds yummy. Okay, so if the wolf had a nice meal instead, do you think our story would be the same? No, I don't think it would it? I think things would have changed. The wolf would have had a nice meal been all full up, and he might have been kind instead of the big bad wolf. We could have called him the nice kind wolf instead. I've got a challenge for you. Can you draw and colour in a meal, a big meal, because the wolf's very hungry, remember? A big meal for the wolf to eat. I would like to see that it is a healthy meal. What does healthy mean? Things that are good for us and make us grow strong. Okay, so the wolf needs to grow strong, doesn't he? Because he's got lots of running around the forest to do. So I'd like you to draw and colour in a big meal for the wolf that is going to make him strong. It's a healthy meal. And can you have a go at labelling your meal? You need to tell me what it is. You need to tell me which bits are healthy and write some of the sounds that you can hear. That's a big challenge. Do you think you can do it? Amazing. I can't wait to see what you're going to choose for the wolf to eat. See you soon.